Hey, welcome back to the lesson number 2, admit and acknowledge. What is that? Well, so now you've done the work in the first lesson and now you know what an emotion is and that it is not something to be feared, it's not something bad or good, it is just a byproduct of a belief and a thought. And that's very important. Now, once you already know that, think about a moment when you find yourself angry. Now, right in that moment, you might observe one thing, that if you do not acknowledge yourself that you're angry right in that moment, you jump into the reaction. And when you start to react, everything goes south, everything goes bad, because you start to say things which then you apologize, you didn't want to say. Well, it goes just through your body, and then you need hours to release and clean your body out of that. And it's hard. So the objective of this lesson here is to give you something which will allow you to jump out of that reaction. It's a temporary tool. It's not a strategy. It's not a long-term strategy. It's a short-term strategy. So we often get angry not just because something triggers us, but because we know what's coming afterwards. We know the emotional spiral that follows. The loss of control can feel overwhelming. Deep down, we're aware that anger tends to lead to regret, to tension, to distance. And that very awareness becomes another reason why we fear or resent our own anger. How many times we say, well, I'm not going to deal with that right now because I will just get angry and then I don't want to go there, right? Yet at the same time, expressing anger can feel incredibly liberating. For a moment, it offers a sense of release. But when this cycle repeats, trigger, reaction, regret, we end up emotionally and physically drained. Over time, our teams grow less transparent, walking on eggshells around us. And we begin to adopt a distorted personal truth. I'm just wired this way. The real turning point is admitting this pattern exists and acknowledging that anger, no matter the trigger, is still our internal response. It's hard to swallow. The process is always internal. And when we fail to master our inner state, we often try to control everything around us. Let me try to modify everything so that it doesn't trigger me to get angry. Becoming obsessive, reactive, and ultimately more angry. Becoming aware of this dynamic is crucial. So let's look at the alternate phases of this cycle and start reclaiming control over what truly belongs to us, which is our inner response. So before you realize you're angry, you might notice initial symptoms such as sense of discontent, fear of the anger itself, an urge to rush or speed up, anxiety about lacking control, feeling disrespected, and worry that something or someone might jeopardize everything. Recognizing these signs will help you know your personal anger and manage your emotions more effectively. Write down your most often symptoms. Think about moments when you are about to get angry and there is a symptom, there is something, some tension goes within you. Maybe it's anxiety, maybe it's a symptom of I gotta get out of here, or it's a symptom of I gotta control this person right now, otherwise things are going to get worse. Sometimes we have to take immediate action, but not as a reaction. So focus on that moment when you are about to get angry. What are the symptoms before that moment when you do get angry? So write down those symptoms. You'll see later why is that so important. So the framework I want to teach you right now for those moments when you get triggered and you're you're about to get angry. When you're about. Why is that so important? Because the next time you get angry, today, tomorrow, if you write down the symptoms, you will know them. So you write them down and you say like, when I get this sense of like, I'm losing control, or I have this sense of somebody is fooling me, or I have a sense of that somebody again wants to manipulate me. So that fear, that anxiety, give it a name or just write it down. Because once you write them down and you'll know them, giving the frame, which having the framework which I'll share with you, will help you to slow down, slow motion that moment and say, oh, I've got this symptom. I'm about to get angry. So you acknowledge yourself that I'm about to get angry. Most people run away from this phase, acknowledging themselves that like, I'm about to get angry. And they're just like, what did you say? What did you say? No, look at me. Look at me. So what? And so they start to react into that. But if you acknowledge yourself, okay, all right, it's coming up, I'm about to get angry. That's good, now you know. So here's the first myth many of us are taught. Anger is bad. I'm not trying to convince you otherwise, but consider this. When you accidentally touch a hot stove, or you want to pick up a hot cup of coffee, and you didn't know it is hot, and you just put your hands on it, and like, ouch, ah. So let's use that example as a case study. What's wrong? The fact that you reacted that way, or because the cup of coffee is hot? Well, nothing's wrong. Both are normal things. The cup of coffee is hot, the stove is hot, there's fire, and it's a right that your body protects you from getting burned. Both of these sides are not to be blamed. But it's about not what's wrong, you're wrong, that thing is wrong, I'm wrong. It's not about trying to find who to blame, but it's about understanding and recognizing hot things, for example, in the hot stove or the cup of coffee, and managing your reaction. So experiencing anger isn't a bad thing. It's like that reaction when you pull your hand from something hot. It's actually useful. It protects you. Protects from what? We will see a little bit later. So it helps you to understand the situation better, read the environment, and develop wisdom by practicing good emotional responses. That way, no one ends up in the emergency room. I know your heart is stronger than that, but you get a point, and the stove continues warming up the food, and you keep your hands healthy. Anger is a byproduct and never the root cause. We already mentioned that in the first lesson. So, admit and acknowledge, this is the first lesson about anger. So the first number, the most important thing. When you're about to get angry, step number 1, acknowledge yourself. I'm angry. I'm getting angry. Without admitting it to yourself, you'll be carried away in denial until you mess up the whole situation. If you do not slow down right in that moment, it's like, I'm getting angry. You have to acknowledge yourself. That's why it's called admit and acknowledge. Acknowledge the symptoms. It's coming. And admit, I'm already angry, if you already are. That's the step number 1. So remember them. There are 3 steps. Step number 1, admit and acknowledge. Acknowledge the symptoms and admit, I'm angry. Before you start to react. Don't think about it like something like, oh, so I'm not going to have the right to react. You will have your moment to react, but we're getting there. Step number 2, if this moment right here were to be managed perfectly, this situation where you're getting angry, if it were somehow possible to manage it perfectly, whatever that might be, just imagine it. What would you like to happen after this problem is solved? So if I'm in this situation, first one, I admit, I'm angry. Number 2, if somehow I could go through this moment successfully, what would I like to happen after this moment goes away? The problem being not your anger, not yet, but the event. Okay, so I have the event, process, outcome. I'm already jumping on the second part. So there is an event, a trigger, something happens. Step number 1, admit, I'm getting angry. Acknowledge yourself about the symptoms. Step number 2, situation is hard. This person like just say this, they behave this way. That's just not all right. That talks about the belief. That's not all right. Boom, you have a belief. Write it down. Think about the situation you got angry in the past few days. Step number 2. If somehow, miraculously, I could get over it, what would I like to happen? Step number 3. Immediately ask yourself, will my reaction bring me closer to that desired outcome? Be brutally honest. Yes or no? Like, if I react the way I want to react, but you have already asked yourself, what would be the best scenario if you could go through this moment successfully? If I react the way I react, will this bring me closer to that desired outcome? Yes or no? If the answer is no, Boom, you deserve better, you can do better, and you know now exactly is the moment during this program. Now you know you can change. Why? Because I know what's the desired outcome through those situations. And now you know, because you just answered, if I react the way I react, things will get worse. And that's not the thing where I want to get. Remember, we want to understand where the anger comes from and improve the process, which is between the trigger, between the event, and therefore the outcome. Simply exploding in bursts doesn't seem like the best solution, right? We're tracking, right? So the framework is this: event, process, outcome. Boom. Doesn't matter who's to blame, doesn't matter who's wrong, you're wrong, they're wrong, doesn't matter. This is a very short-term strategy, just to allow you to detach from that moment, just to get in a safe place. Remember the car, if you see the smoke coming out under the hood, you just want to stop. So you're looking like, oh, well, where you can park, or if you have the possibility, you just stop where you are, and like, oh, what's going on, right? You're not just like, let me just push and accelerate and go even faster, everything's gonna be all right. No, you want to get like, oh, what's going on? It's the same thing what we have to do with ourselves. So this strategy really always works, because now I know you're tempted intellectually to challenge yourself and say, wow, this looks interesting. All right, so when I get angry, I can actually spot the event. Good. Now I know there is a gap. I can ask myself, what would I like to happen if I were somehow to go successfully through this situation? What would I like to happen? I would like that they understand this, that I understand them, that they execute this way or that way. That's what I want to happen. Okay, good. If I react the way I want instinctively to react, is that the result I'm going to get? No. All right. Now you're challenging yourself. Means that I gotta do something in the middle, which is the process, so that I can get to that desired outcome, right? Isn't this challenging? Isn't this attractive? I know you are competitive. So if you are competitive, you can do better, right? Because like, I want to be that smart one which knows how to get to my desired outcome. Who doesn't want that? So now we have a lifeboat. You are now empowered. You can play with the event, change the process, or you have directed your focus towards thinking and controlling rather than jumping to a reaction. Now you know you have choices. You always have a choice. Admitting that you got caught in the fire of anger and acknowledging the choices you have is the first victory. So now, this is control, my friends. Ladies and gentlemen, this is control. True control is not just let me decide that emotions don't exist. Let me just decide that everybody's wrong and I'm gonna just tell you what to do and problem solved. But then everything else, something else gets you into anger again. That's not control. True control is, I don't fear to see what the emotions are. I don't fear because I can be in control. I can look within, I can see things, and I'm not scared. Because if you're really sometimes a very competitive individuals, which I work with, I would ask, look, if you're so in control but you suppress it, why do you fear? Why are you so afraid of to see things closer, in a closer manner, if it's not scary? Why do you then have to suppress it and shut it down if there is nothing to be feared? So now you have a lifeboat. Why? Because it gives you that gap of detaching from the storm and using this segmentation, compartmentalize these processes. Trigger, process, outcome. What do I want? What would I like to happen? My reaction helps to close this gap? No. Event, process, outcome. Now you have choices. Now you can detach and you're tricking your monkey brain when you give to your brain things to do when actually instinctively you like to do something else. So instinctively you'd like to, here's the secret to overcome anger immediately in seconds. You keep your brain busy with the things which you need your brain to be busy with when your instinct pushes your brain to be busy with something which then leads to anger. So instinctively, you want to react. But if you can give something competitive, challenging to your brain, no, be busy with trying to understand the trigger, the process, and the outcome. Your monkey brain will be very, very happy to be focused on this segmentation, being busy chopping down the process of anger itself, so then you take control of the process. So you tricked your monkey brain into, no, don't be busy doing that, be busy doing this. Then your brain starts to be busy doing this, and then you take control. Boom, you tricked yourself in a very healthy manner so that you do not jump from a reaction to another, from anger to another, but you start to gain control. So you trick it, you hook it, and you bring it in. Now, here's the exercise before we move to the next lesson, which is much deeper. We'll go much deeper because now we have a lifeboat, we get out of it, but then we'll go much deeper into it and see where does it come from. And that is a life-changing lesson. The next lesson is a life-changing lesson. It will require some knowledge, some courage to look within, and I will give you the knowledge and the tools. You can do it. You absolutely can do it. Everybody can do it. I was a very angry individual, very impulsive. I would get angry very often. And because it was a very hot topic for me and very important one, I learned it, I dived into it, I trained every framework possible, which allowed me to empower others with the frameworks, with the tools, so that anger doesn't have control in their life. But otherwise, they can control the outcome through controlling the reaction. So the work which is required now from you to do is this: event, process, outcome. Start with an event, things which makes you to feel angry. Write them down. Then ask yourself, what is the outcome which I would like to happen after the trigger? And then put your hands like this. And say, think. What can I do so that I can close this gap between the event and the outcome? How do I get to this, to that? From A to B. Because in the process is your thinking. In the process, now I know you're smart. I know you can do it. I know you have done crazy, complicated stuff, and you dealt with so much in your life. I just know it. Because if you're following ExploraSelf, you're following us on social media, I know you're ambitious, you want to achieve great things. I know you have lots of potential. I know you can do this. I know you've got so much within you. So you can do this as well. And I know you are competitive. You like to challenge yourselves and I can figure out a way. I'm sure I can. So now you can train that. Event, think about the outcome. So here we have the place in the workbook right here. Event, process, outcome page. And think of a process. Reflect about those processes and see why did you chose that kind of processing which allowed that to happen, that outcome which you are not happy with. That's why write the event, then think of the outcome which you would like to happen. Then number 3, think about a process which will get you there. All right? Good luck. Do the work and be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself and you'll see that some things there require some knowledge which you might not have right now, but that's all right. Just be creative. Think of a process which will help you to move from the event to the outcome. You can only do that if you memorize this segmentation, event, process, outcome. Challenge yourself. So next time when you get angry, now you know that emotion is just a byproduct of a thought and a belief. And now you have also the framework event, process, outcome. So then, boom, you're busy thinking. And when you think, then you rationalize. And when you rationalize, then you got control over that. But now it's time to go deeper. And this is the lesson number 3. Now, we are not in the fire. We're not boiling. We're not going crazy. We're not like, I'm going to wreck. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Oh my gosh, I shouldn't have done that. And then your body, your energy is low. You're angry. You have headaches. You get angry at every other person and think in your life. Now in the next lesson, we're going to look under the hood and see where actually anger comes from, because it is triggered, but it comes from somewhere else. You want to know where it comes from? That might be something surprising. You want to know? Let's see in the next video. See you in the third lesson. Take care. Bye-bye.